Welcome to the Mental Improvement Channel and our very first Deep Dive Thursday. Today, we're tackling a topic that quietly shapes so many lives: people pleasing. If you've ever felt that uncomfortable twist in your stomach after saying yes when you wanted to say no, or if you've lost sight of your own needs while trying to keep everyone else happy, you're in the right place. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll break down what people pleasing really is, why it happens, how to spot it in your life, and most importantly, how to break free. So get comfortable, grab a notebook, and let's start this journey toward healthier, more authentic relationships. Let's clarify what people pleasing actually means. It's not about kindness or generosity. It's a behavioral pattern where you consistently put others' needs, feelings, and desires above your own, not out of genuine choice but out of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of disappointing others, and fear of being unloved. The difference between kindness and people-pleasing is crucial. Kindness comes from a place of genuine desire, while people-pleasing is driven by anxiety and self-abandonment. When you're people-pleasing, you say yes when you want to say no, feel drained, and worry constantly about others' opinions. It's not your fault. This is a learned survival strategy, often rooted in childhood. People-pleasing is essentially abandoning yourself to avoid being abandoned by others. You silence your own needs, ignore your boundaries, and betray your values, hoping for validation from others. The irony is, the more you abandon yourself, the more you attract relationships that require you to keep doing it. Remember, if you're a people-pleaser, it's not your fault. This pattern was a survival strategy, often learned in childhood to stay emotionally or even physically safe. Your nervous system learned that being agreeable and accommodating kept you safe from anger or rejection. Now, it's time to evolve beyond it with compassion for yourself. The first root cause of people-pleasing is experiencing conditional love in childhood. If you grew up in an environment where love and attention were given only when you behaved a certain way, you learned that your worth was tied to pleasing others. Maybe you had to be the easy child, or felt that expressing your needs made you difficult. The message you internalized was, "I'm only lovable when I make others happy." This early conditioning can shape your adult relationships, making it hard to prioritize your own needs. Another common root cause is growing up in an unstable or chaotic home. If your childhood was filled with conflict or unpredictability, you may have become hypervigilant to others' emotions, learning to manage everyone's feelings to keep the peace. This is known as fawning, a trauma response where you appease and accommodate others to avoid conflict or danger. Children in these environments often become emotional managers, carrying this role into adulthood and constantly monitoring others' emotional states. Attachment wounds are another key factor. If your early relationships with caregivers were insecure, meaning your caregivers were inconsistent or unpredictable, you may have developed anxious attachment patterns. This often shows up as a constant need for reassurance, fear of abandonment, and people-pleasing. You learn that love is uncertain, so you work extra hard to earn and keep it. These patterns can persist into adulthood, making it difficult to feel secure in relationships. Cultural and social conditioning also play a significant role. Many of us, especially women and marginalized groups, are taught from a young age to be accommodating and prioritize others' comfort over our own needs. Society rewards us for being nice and agreeable, but punishes us for being difficult or demanding. People-pleasing becomes a way to navigate systems that weren't built with our well-being in mind. Recognizing these influences is the first step toward change. How can you tell if you're a people-pleaser? There are specific patterns and behaviors to look for. You might automatically say yes, even when you want to say no, apologize constantly, struggle to express your real opinions, or feel responsible for other people's emotions. You may overextend yourself, avoid conflict, need external validation, feel guilty for prioritizing yourself, not know what you want, or find your relationships feel unbalanced. Even recognizing a few of these patterns is significant. One of the most common signs of people-pleasing is saying yes automatically, even when you want to say no. Someone asks for a favor and you agree before you even think about it. Later, you might feel resentful or overwhelmed, wishing you set a boundary. This habit can leave you feeling drained and frustrated, as your own needs are consistently sidelined for others' requests. Another pattern is apologizing constantly, even for things that aren't your fault. You might find yourself saying, "Sorry to bother you," or "Sorry, just one quick question," as if you're apologizing for existing or having needs. This habit can erode your confidence and reinforce the belief that your presence is an inconvenience to others. People pleasers often struggle to express their real opinions, especially if they might differ from others. In group settings, you might wait to see what everyone else thinks before sharing your view, or avoid sharing at all to keep the peace. This can lead to feeling invisible or disconnected from your authentic self. Another sign is feeling responsible for other people's emotions. If someone is upset, you feel it's your job to fix it, and you can't relax until they're okay. Their feelings become your emergency, and you may neglect your own needs in the process. This pattern can be exhausting and unsustainable. Overextending yourself is another hallmark of people-pleasing. You're constantly helping others, even when you're exhausted or overwhelmed. Your schedule is packed with everyone else's priorities, and your own needs are pushed to the bottom of the list. This can lead to burnout and resentment over time. People pleasers often avoid conflict at all costs. You might swallow your feelings, agree when you don't actually agree, or let things go to avoid difficult conversations. While this may keep the peace temporarily, it often comes at the expense of your own well-being and authenticity. A strong need for external validation is another sign. You constantly seek approval, reassurance, and praise from others. You may second-guess your decisions unless someone else validates them, and your self-worth becomes tied to others' opinions. This makes it difficult to trust yourself and your own judgment. Feeling guilty when you prioritize yourself is a classic people-pleasing pattern. Taking time for yourself feels selfish, saying no feels mean, and having boundaries feels unkind. This guilt can prevent you from meeting your own needs and reinforce the cycle of self-neglect. After years of focusing on others, you may lose touch with your own desires, needs, and preferences. When someone asks what you want, you might not even know. This disconnection from yourself makes it hard to make decisions or advocate for your own well-being. People pleasers often find their relationships feel unbalanced. You give and give, but don't receive the same energy in return. You may feel taken for granted, as people come to you when they need something but aren't there for you in the same way. This imbalance can lead to resentment and loneliness. Recognizing these patterns is the first step, but it's important to understand the cost of people-pleasing. It costs you your authenticity, genuine connection, energy, time, mental health, and self-respect. Ultimately, it can prevent you from living the life you truly want. The good news is, you have the power to change these patterns and reclaim your life. Now let's talk about how to break free from people-pleasing. This is a journey, not a quick fix. You're rewiring years, sometimes decades, of conditioning. Be patient and compassionate with yourself as you start this process. The first step is building self-awareness and recognizing when and why you fall into people-pleasing patterns. You can't change a pattern you don't recognize. Start noticing when you automatically say yes, what situations trigger your people-pleasing, who you people please with most, and what you're afraid will happen if you stop. Keeping a journal can help you track these moments and bring unconscious patterns into the light. This awareness is the foundation for change. If you've lost touch with your own needs and desires, it's time to rebuild that relationship with yourself. Start small. Ask yourself what you actually want for dinner, or whether you want to attend an event or are just going out of obligation. Practice tuning into your body. Your body knows what you need, even if you've learned to ignore those signals. Reconnecting with yourself is a powerful act of self-care. Practicing saying no is essential, even if it feels scary at first. Start with low-stakes situations. Decline dessert if you don't want it, or say you're not available if you need time for yourself. Remember, "No, that doesn't work for me" is a complete sentence. Most people will handle your boundaries just fine, and those who don't reveal something important about the relationship. Saying no is a vital skill for self-respect. Setting and maintaining boundaries is crucial. Boundaries aren't walls, they're guidelines for how you want to be treated. Healthy boundaries might sound like, I can't take on any more projects right now, or I need time to think before I commit. Maintaining boundaries, even when people push back, is an act of self-respect. Remember, those who benefited from your lack of boundaries may resist, but staying firm is key. When you start changing these patterns, discomfort is inevitable. You might feel guilty, anxious, or selfish. This is normal. Your nervous system is used to people-pleasing as a way to feel safe. Discomfort doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're doing something new. Practice self-soothing and remind yourself that you can handle others' disappointment or upset. Their feelings are not your responsibility. Breaking free from people-pleasing is hard to do alone. Seek support from a therapist, especially one trained in attachment or trauma work. Join support groups or connect with trusted friends who understand your journey. Having people in your corner who remind you that your needs matter can make all the difference. Support is a vital part of lasting change. Redefining your self-worth is the deepest work. Your worth is inherent, not earned by pleasing others or making everyone comfortable. Practice affirmations like, I am worthy of love even when I say no, and my needs matter as much as anyone else. This shift changes everything, allowing you to show up authentically and confidently in your relationships. Imagine waking up and thinking about what you need, not who you need to please. Your relationships feel balanced, you give and receive, your boundaries are respected, and you're free to be yourself. You have energy for what matters, make decisions based on your values, and can say no without guilt. This is what life looks like on the other side of people-pleasing, and it's absolutely possible for you. When you break free from people-pleasing, you experience authentic connection. People respect your boundaries and value the real you, not just the agreeable version you've shown before. Difficult conversations become possible, and you can tolerate disappointing others when necessary. The relationships that remain are deeper and more genuine, built on mutual respect and understanding. As you let go of people-pleasing, you get to know yourself on a deeper level. You understand what you want, what you stand for, and what truly matters to you. This self-knowledge empowers you to make choices that align with your values and to live a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. The most beautiful part of this journey is that the people who truly love you will love the real you even more. When you show up authentically, you invite deeper, more meaningful connections. You no longer have to wear a mask or hide your true self. Authenticity is a gift to yourself and to everyone in your life. This life, one where you're free from people-pleasing, where your needs matter, and where you're surrounded by genuine relationships, is waiting for you. You absolutely deserve it. It's not selfish to prioritize your well-being. It's necessary for a fulfilling, balanced life. Take the first step today and know that change is possible. As we wrap up today's deep dive, remember that breaking free from people-pleasing is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself and for those around you. Authentic connection can only happen when you're being your true self. Thank you for joining me on this journey and for committing to your own growth and authenticity. Let's build a community of people committed to showing up authentically. Sharing your experiences and supporting each other can make this journey less lonely and more empowering. Remember, you're not alone. Many are working to break free from these patterns and create healthier, more fulfilling lives. Throughout this process, self-compassion is essential. Recognize that people-pleasing was once a survival strategy, and it served you in the past. Now, you have the opportunity to choose new patterns that support your well-being. Be gentle with yourself as you learn and grow. Every step you take toward breaking free from people-pleasing is worth celebrating. Progress may be slow at times, but each moment of self-awareness, each boundary set, and each act of self-care is a victory. Celebrate your growth and honor your journey. Staying committed to change is key. There will be setbacks and moments of doubt, but remember why you started. Keep your vision of a balanced, authentic life in mind, and return to your practices of self-awareness, boundary setting, and self-care whenever you need to. There are many tools to support your ongoing growth. Journaling, Therapy, support groups, and mindfulness practices can all help you stay connected to yourself and your goals. Experiment with different tools and find what works best for you. Growth is a lifelong journey, and you have resources to support you every step of the way. Embracing vulnerability is a powerful part of this process. It takes courage to show up as your true self, set boundaries, and risk disappointing others. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's the foundation of authentic connection and personal growth. Allow yourself to be seen and supported as you move forward. Letting go of perfection is essential. You don't have to get everything right to make progress. Mistakes and setbacks are part of the journey. What matters is your willingness to keep learning and growing. Give yourself permission to be imperfect and human. As you break free from people-pleasing, you'll notice a shift in your energy. You'll have more time and space for what truly matters to you. Your energy will no longer be drained by trying to manage others' emotions or meet everyone's expectations. Reclaiming your energy is a powerful step toward living a life that feels fulfilling and aligned. Living in alignment with your values is one of the greatest rewards of breaking free from people-pleasing. You make decisions based on what's important to you, not just what will make others happy. This leads to greater satisfaction, confidence, and peace in your daily life. When you break free from people-pleasing, the positive effects ripple out to those around you. You model healthy boundaries and authenticity, inspiring others to do the same. Your relationships become more honest and supportive, and you contribute to a culture of mutual respect and well-being. Looking ahead, remember that this journey is ongoing. There will always be opportunities to practice self-awareness, set boundaries, and choose authenticity. Each day is a new chance to show up for yourself and create the life you want. Stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep moving forward. Thank you for being here and for doing this important work with me. If you found this helpful, consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear this message. Remember, breaking free from people-pleasing is a loving act for yourself and those around you. I'll see you next Tuesday for our Top 10 Countdown, and next Thursday for another deep dive. Until then, take care of yourself and keep showing up authentically.